Good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Let us start the second video of this playlist, that is IEC 62443. And in this video, we will directly jump into the set of standards of IEC 62443. Let us see that how IEC 62443 is evolving, and there are some of the standards which are in the phase of the comments and as well as formulation. So we are waiting for the release of those standards, but we can see what is the purpose of those standards. So let's jump into that. So here is IEC 62443 set of standards, and you can see this standards, number of standards are just increasing, which means a lot of effort is going on in making these standards covering larger aspects of industrial automation, and also the inclusion of new technologies which are making way into the industrial automation, like industrial Internet of Things, or even the AI is under discussion at ISA committees. Now, if you check, mainly four important slabs are important for us. That is the first one, that is general slab. Here I'll just point my mouse, general. The second one is your policies and procedures. Third one is system. Fourth one is component. Now, when somebody sees the first time, or if you're, let's say that if you're seeing or trying to learn 62443 for the first time, these number of standards are sometimes overwhelming. However, one good news is these standards are chronologically arranged, so they're not random, right? So if you remember that story, which I'll be covering in next video, the importance of standards as per and also their arrangement will be clearly understood. Like general is something which deals with the definitions, concepts, as well as terminologies, which is required as a basic dictionary or as a basic understanding of the concepts to communicate, to have a communication between all these three roles, that is asset owner, system integrator or maintainer, and OEM. They must know the definition to communicate to each other. So all your general slab standards deal with those kind of topics. Second one is the most important slab in 62443, that is policies and procedures, where it deals with two important players in the 62443 context, or even industrial automation control life cycle. The first player is your asset owner. Why is he important? Because he has the problem statement and also the budget. So asset owner can decide that how fast he has to implement, or he can implement the 62443 standards in his organization, or OT cybersecurity program based out of 62443. He's also liable to show the compliance for many of the regulations, where almost all of the countries are bringing their own regulations for their critical infrastructure security. He has a good partner, that is your service provider, which includes two sub roles, that is system integrator and system maintainer, who are again guided by the set of standards in this slab only, that is policies and procedures. Right? So these two guys work together to perform assessment, to design and implement, as well as maintain the IACS lifecycle or automation lifecycle at asset owners' premise. Now the vertical domain depend on the asset owner. It can be differing, and as well as the application of 62443 is not same for all the vertical domains. It is not that a one size fits all approach. We must know the domain specifications as well as tailor make 62443 to fit in that specific domain, as well as country and culture also affects 62443 in larger context. When we talk about the asset owner, we are talking about solution. I'm going to cover these basic definition in subsequent videos. And solutions consist of many systems, right? The systems are supplied by many vendors or one vendor, that is OEM. And system is group of IACS elements or discrete elements like PLCs or RTUs or HMIs or switches, routers, firewalls, you name it. So when you're trying to touch solution, we have to go in deep to touch upon systems, many systems, and when we try to assess systems, we end up assessing components. That's where your fourth slab is coming into picture, that is components. The slab, the documentation in this slab, that is components, have very minimal reference to the policies and procedures, that is asset owner and service provider. These specific standards 4-1 and 4-2 are meant for OEM. So these guides, these two standards guide OEM for secure development lifecycle of their software, hardware, networking, as well as embedded devices, as well as host devices. And 4-2 is all about technical controls depending on security level capability which the OEM would like to implement on their design under consideration, on their device under consideration, sorry. So there is a story here, and we would like to cover story in our next video. But very interesting part of 62443 standard is it is growing at a pace which we have not seen in couple of years back. Like profiles, if you check 62443 5-X, that means 5-1, 5-2, likewise it will evolve. And presently the discussion is going on to create 62443 5-1, which specifically talks about profiling electrical utilities. The relevant standard is in slab number 1, that is general slab, and you can check 1-5 talks about scheme of 62443 cybersecurity profiles, which means 1-5 and 5-X series will grow together. You have also 1-6 where application of 62443 in IIoT is discussed appropriately. Now some of the standards are released, some of the standards are not released. For example, evaluation, in the evaluation slab, that is the last slab, you can check 6-1. When I say 6-1, I mean 62443-6-1. So in short, we just name last two digits in that standard name. So 6-1 means security evaluation methodology of 2-4, and 6-2 is 4-2. 2-4 is for your service provider evaluation, where they can also get certified. Now it's basically to bring the assessment in a uniformed approach. So all the assessors or all the people who are certifying, or accreditation labs who are certifying the service providers, they have a uniformed approach. Likewise 6-2, that is security evaluation methodology of 4-2, again for the devices, the approach is streamlined here. So for this present video, this is it, and we are going to walk through the story of all of these standards. We are going to cover each of the standards in a lot of detail. In the meantime, I would like also to bring your attention for formal 62443 certification from ISA, which I'm going to explain more in the next video. I have not prepared the slide for that, but these certifications are in a lot of demand in the market, and they are also improving the quality in terms of practical labs, as well as the content improvement, which is addressing the recent development as well. So see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a great day.